Okay, so the next step after you've cut your piece to 6 inches is you need to bend it. Okay, so we have a couple examples here of some small ones that other people have built. Okay, your first step is to bend this first bend right here. So I'm going to take these two out of the way. Normally there will be a carabiner laying somewhere on this table so that you can copy it. All right. So what I'm going to do here, actually before we even do that, I want to show you something. See how there's this spring back here and the little finger that we're going to bend with? Okay, if you hit this little metal peg that's sticking up and you push the peg too far back, notice how the spring is popping out? Right there, it springs out, and then you have this point. And some kids get confused. They don't know what to do when this happens. Okay? First of all, whoops, bumped the camera. First of all, try and avoid going too far back. Okay? Second of all, you're going to pull this pin. So pull the pin out. Okay? Then you're going to grab this little piece, just like this, take it out. You're going to slide it back in so that the pointy end gets inside the spring. Give it a little push. Whoops. Little push. Line up the hole. I actually have to come back this way a little bit. There. And now the pin's back in, and this is where it needs to be. Okay? I shot our little carabiner on the floor. I'll grab it. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, open this up a little ways. If I pull this camera this way, you can see how that tip is just touching this metal clamp, but I'm not pushing it to the point where the spring's coming out. Okay? So now I'm going to take my piece. I'm going to stick it in. You'll notice this clamp, if I bring this over top, if I spin it. Okay, see how it gets closer to this middle peg? If you spin it one way, and you might have to move that, it gets closer, and then you can see it starts to spin further away. So that's how you clamp, all right? So I'm going to bring this piece. I'm going to spin this as far away as it can go. Make some room. And it doesn't look like I can get my metal in there. So maybe this peg needs to slide to the second hole. So I'll put it into this one. Okay, that's better. All right, we'll move this back out of the way. Slide that in. And we're going to slide it in so that we have about that much. So I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. I'm going to leave it a little long because I can always trim it later. So right there. Okay, then you're going to grab this clamp and pivot it and lock it into place. All right, then what you're going to do is grab the handle on the outside of this machine. So if I take the camera out, okay, we're going to grab the handle and we're going to pull. You might need to stick your foot at the base here to get it to keep it from spinning on you. We added a whole bunch of weight to the bottom, so it shouldn't take too much effort with your foot to hold it there. And you're just going to crank this until it has that nice shape that we're looking for. So I'll grab the handle and I'll pull. Okay, whoops. Give it a little pull. We'll take a look. Okay, not bent enough. So I'm going to pull more. What we're going for is a little bit past 90 degrees. So when this goes down and back, a little bit past 90. So we'll pull it. See that? That's getting pretty close to what I want there. I'm actually going to go just a tiny bit more. Right there. Okay? Then you'll loosen off this clamp. Whoops, that way. Lift your piece of metal out. So right there, a little bit past 90. Okay? The next step is to bend this bend in the back corner. Okay, so again, I'm going to spin my handle all the way without pushing it past that finger. I'm going to put my piece of metal into here. I might have to open the clamp. Other way. Okay, slide it down flat. Then again, I'm going to use this as a measurement. So I can slide this back. Oops, that might have been a little far. Okay, right about there. That's about the bend I want. I'm actually going to go just a tiny bit more, somewhere in there. Okay, and I'm going to clamp that. And again, I found it actually easier last time, not just my foot, I also put my knee there, and then I grab the handle and I pull. Okay, and this bend is going to come back about that far. So now it's not quite 90. Okay, so we'll loosen this, loosen our thing. So far that's what we got. Okay, the last bend happens at the bottom. And again, I'm just going to slide the handle back to the start spot. I'm going to put my piece of metal in there. I'm going to come down somewhere in here. I'm a little long, but I actually kind of want it just to be a little longer than this one. So I'm going to lock that into place. Make sure when you're bending that this little handle isn't going to get hooked on this pin and bend this handle. Okay, you can slide it, slide it out of the way just like that. All right, and now what I'm going to do is bend this all the way around until it touches this side. So again, brace my knee, grab the handle, pull. I'm going to move to this side, put my knee on this side of the machine, and I'm going to pull till, see that? It just touched. Okay, I'll loosen this off, pull my carabiner out. Okay, now that I have this shape, I need to go cut an opening like this. So I'm going to take this over to the hacksaw, and I'm just going to cut, if I grab my Sharpie here, I'm going to cut probably about there. And this I might even cut a little shorter too. Okay, I'm going to cut those two spots just to give myself a nice big opening. All right.